Hey everybody, welcome to the garden. I hope you're having a great day. Shout out to the lemon and lime lovers and everybody in between. It's time for the crypto market recap. Let's hop into these charts, see what the story is and what it may be. And remember, if you're interested in any of the services I provide, please check the links in the description below for both the Patreon and Discord. Okay, so we're going to be hopping into Bitcoin, Avalanche, Ethereum, Solana, MATIC, Polkadot, Link, and Cardano, as we are currently in longs on all of these assets. And so let's just hop right on into Bitcoin. So what are we observing today? So far, we've had a pretty nice day, somewhat of a pause day. We've given back some gains, about what, $900 off the high of today. And this is following a beautiful day on the 19th of June, where we had a nice rally back from a major support zone, and we bullish engulfed that last candle on the 18th of June. So very nice structure possibly forming here to show a short-term bottoming, where we can possibly see more upside going towards 24,000 and then eventually towards 25, 26, 27,000 of that nature. Okay. And again, nothing's really changed in regards to that. It's likely going to come back up at least towards 24, 25,000 and then a breakage going towards 27 to 28,000. And then we'll see from there what the structure looks like. Again, all these trend lines are still in play, this blue trend line here, and then we can actually pull out this trend line here and see how this will also interact with price. So let's leave that there for now. See, maybe possibly we will find some resistance off of this extended down descending trend line as well. But considering how much we've fallen now, we are very much due for a fairly nice bounce. The thing is, what's going to be interesting to see is when this bounce comes, you're going to have a lot of people flipping bullish that we've hit the macro bottom and that we will eventually start to form a structure to get towards new all-time highs. The problem is, at least in my opinion, I don't find this being a bottoming pattern. Okay, I don't find this being the bottoming level. I do see us going sub 20K. Reason why is because I'm looking at the stock market, particularly NASDAQ and the S&P, and I see far more downside for them. And I have a hard time believing Bitcoin will withstand that selling and will all of a sudden be inverse to the equity markets when it's proven to never have been so. Okay, so I do see Bitcoin eventually going even lower. My lowest was at in the past was anywhere from 16,000 to 15,000. Now I'm thinking possibly even lower, considering the macroeconomics and how the charts are looking on the longer time frame for the Nasdaq and S&P. So again, we'll see how this plays out. But currently, we're sitting long. We are in the red for Bitcoin, but funnily enough, for most of our positions, we're either flat or in the green, which is pretty incredible considering how much selling the market has faced. And that, to me, is proof of the power of doing strategic add-ons at really high probable levels, right? So that's really the strength of separating out your entries and targeting really powerful levels where price usually reverses. And so far, we've been able to protect ourselves from the drop and participate and better our positions. So I'm not really too upset about what's happening, but that's solely because we don't overexpose ourselves all at once. We take our time and add on when it's smart. And so for Bitcoin, we're just going to see. It's going to probably take its time to base here, but we are likely going to rise higher to at least 24 to 25,000. Once we hit one of these levels, so once we go towards 24 to 25,000, then the probabilities of us falling down are much higher. But in my opinion, I think we actually go higher. I think we go towards 30,000. So I do think that this blue line here will be the ultimate target. And then from there, we'll see if we do start a bullish consolidation, like I was saying was likely going to happen here, but we did fall down through. Okay, so we will see if we get towards this zone, if we do start bullish consolidation to break up higher. That is possible. But we do have to, keep in mind that as we go higher towards these levels, all right, the more probable pathway is for a continuation down. But as of now, at this major support zone, we should be aiming at least towards 24 to 25,000, and then we'll see what kind of price action starts emerging there. But so far, so good. We just have to stay patient, stay vigilant. Okay. Let's take a look at Avalanche and see what's going on here. And we're also seeing a nice rise, in crypto overall, mainly because Nasdaq and the equity markets as a whole are having a pretty nice day today, and we're also getting a lot of late shorters getting margin called. They opened up their short way too late and too high leverage, so you're seeing a lot of liquidations also, compiling on top of this nice rise. And for Avalanche, look at this. I mean, this is incredible. Avalanche is actually playing out pretty much as envisioned. So we had this massive macro structure that ended up being bearish, as we said it would. Then we break down. We extend out this trend line here, going all the way down. And what have I been saying from the very get-go? Not only was Avalanche destined to break under $50, which it did, as I said it would, it came really low, went sub 20 right now, but it oscillates around this line, okay? And this is bullish, okay? This is the sort of structure you want to look for that is bullish. You're likely going to get a breakout to get back towards a major resistance zone, which is still about 40 bucks, and then eventually towards $50. Okay, so this is a bullish structure. Of course, nothing plays out 100% of the time, so you want to keep that in mind. But this is the sort of setup you want for a massive impulse higher. Okay, so if Avalanche can get that impulse higher to break through this descending structure, watch for a massive move towards $40 to $50. Okay, so this has been playing out almost to a T. It did go a bit lower than I expected. I didn't think $20 would get taken out, at least right now. But again, Bitcoin selling has been significant, so keeping that in mind, it's not too shocking. But we do have some higher targets for Avalanche, and we're in the red in Avalanche as well. But once this starts breaking structure to the upside, which is most probable, we'll find ourselves back in profit very, very quickly. And I actually believe it's Bitcoin, Avalanche, and Ethereum, and maybe I'm not looking at my my account right now. Maybe MATIC that were in the red or break even for MATIC, and then the rest were actually slightly in the green or pretty nicely in the green, which is pretty cool. Ethereum. So Ethereum really, out of all the charts, is definitely one of the weaker ones. But again, it's still in a major support zone. Sitting around 1,200 to 1,000. Had a really nice pierce under that. If you're a member, you know that in our in the exclusive room, the break room, I posted certain projects, certain coins that are going to be for long-term accumulation, mainly investing, and Ethereum was one of them. So keep your eye on those coins, because I do believe that you're going to have lower prices for all these coins, and Ethereum is going to be a big one to nab onto. Okay, but as we are breaking under this trend line here, we're going to be testing this trend line, I believe, over and over, and eventually we're going to break out. Okay, if Bitcoin plays out how I expect it to over time, same with Avalanche, you're going to get a nice bullish breakout for Ethereum. And really the first major level for it to get to test out is not just 1,800 now, it's actually 1,700 because of this really, you could go like here, but I'll say 1,700 to keep it flat right around this trend line here, because this is where you're seeing a nice little minor resistance level here. And then if Bitcoin has that follow through as I expected, probably will, getting towards 30k, you'll likely see a $2,000 Ethereum once more, and that's when you want to watch for any major retracements lower. Okay, Ethereum is likely going to go lower much harder compared to Bitcoin. It's been relatively weak. If you look at their charts, Ethereum's been relatively weak to most of crypto. It's been one of the worst performers since this drop has started. Okay, but again, we're gonna keep oscillating around this line. It'll keep fighting this descending trend line, which is just like Avalanche, pulled all the way back from its all-time high. And then once it breaks through, you'll see a nice rise to minor support and minor resistance, and then major resistance around 18 to 1900. Okay, going on to Solana. Right, so Solana, actually, let's pull out this trend line a little bit more. So somewhat similar to Avalanche and Ethereum, we can pull this trend line out. As we can see, it's actually starting the process, possibly confirming that it's going to break, have a full breakage of this trend line. Actually, if it closed here, it wouldn't confirm, because you want to see, at least my definition of a breakout, you want to see the high of the last daily candle taken out and then closed above that level. So if we actually closed right here, technically, at least in my book, it's not a full breakout structure yet. So if Solana can have a nice little impulse going into the end of the day, we should have the confirmation that we broke through this trend line. And the first levels we're going to be looking at, obviously, once $38 is taken out, first level you're going to see is $45, and then the next major resistance level is going to be about $58 to $60. So that's going to be a massive level, because it's been my level for quite a long time. So keep your eye on Solana. And Solana, I believe we're actually in the money, or slightly in the red. Yeah, but pretty decent. Again, it's definitely, out of the charts we've seen, one of the most best potential moves to the upside. Solana looks really nice to go up higher right now. And again, very similar structure to Avalanche, in that it has that descending structure, and now it's finally taking control of its descending trend line, possibly. All right, let's get to MATIC. All right, MATIC. Okay, MATIC, we it had a pretty nice drop. Just couldn't hit that 0.297 level. There was an add-on there for me, but it just missed it. We'll see if it could actually make another move lower, and possibly I'll add on there. If you are following, like we have most of the account is now exposed to crypto. We have, I want to say, anywhere from 10 to 12% cash on the side ready to go to add on to certain positions. So this would be one where I might add another 1-2% if it gets to that level. More than that I'm reserving for mainly for possibly Avalanche, but Bitcoin and Ethereum mainly, because I'm more comfortable having a larger exposure to those two specifically. Whereas the other coins, I don't. Again, these are all decent projects. They're high tier projects in that they have large market caps, a lot of money flowing into them. But I am most comfortable having a large position in Bitcoin and Ethereum mainly. So if we get more opportunity to add on to those, that's where the predominantly where most of my cash that's sitting on the side as of now will go into. And for MATIC, first level you're going to be watching, it almost got there already with about 48 cents. And then, getting back to 61 cents is definitely what I'm looking at. Okay, so getting back towards these levels at 58 to 60 cents is the next major zone. But this little pivot down here, this little wick here, is going to be somewhat of a minor resistance, so we can actually mark that. So watch for that to be played around with. But Bitcoin has that impulse breakage of 48 cents going towards 60 cents. Looks good. Okay, and Polkadot, let's see. So what you've noticed is some of these coins have lost these bottom wicks, right, as support, and then others like Polkadot have held them, which is, it's actually a sign of relative strength, right? So Polkadot has shown some relative strength, and that it hasn't, lost this pivot, this low pivot as support. It actually held it, which is fairly decent. And maybe I'm seeing another trend line here. Let's see. So take a look at this. So similar to Solana, Polkadot might have broken through. Yep. So Polkadot technically looks like it's broken through a minor descending trend line resistance here. Look at this. So pretty sick. So possibly we're going to see a nice move on Polkadot going towards at least $8.80, and then possibly towards $10. Okay. And Polkadot, it has shown some flashes of relative strength, and this right here holding that bottom pivot wick here, this right here is a good sign of that. All right, so not bad at all. If it can continuously hold $7 and then finally get that impulse to go higher, you're going to see a really nice move going, I believe, towards at least $10. Okay, definitely towards $10. This is a pretty good structure to go higher. All right, so let's take a look at Link, and we're actually green on Polkadot, I believe, too. Link, we're green, and Cardano, we're definitely green as well. Link, beautiful, same thing as Polkadot, holding that bottom wick. Beautiful, like very, very pretty. Relative strength to Bitcoin and Ethereum, who did lose their bottom wicks. So this is a very nice sign. And again, I'm still counting, like I'm telling you, like you're going to see this descending trend line be tested, right? So for Link, that loss of this descending structure bearish, you're likely going to see this blue trend line tested as resistance. It technically was here. It was very close. Maybe it's a little too low. Yeah, right around here. It was just in that general zone right there. But I think you're going to see price get back towards it and test it again. And whether it breaks through or not, again, that'll be kind of dependent on whether Bitcoin has another impulse going towards 30K. But Link looks very good to have a nice little move higher. Okay, I do see that we're probably going to go a little bit lower for a couple more days. If Bitcoin continues to consolidate, Link looks good to probably go sideways a little bit more. But if it can hold above $6.30, look for a really nice move going towards $8, $9. All right. And for me personally, I'm targeting anywhere from $8 to $9. I mean, this will be the general area where I would be comfortable closing our position, because we've had some days where we've been up on Link around 14%, 14%, but I am seeing a possibly 20+% move here, and I'm comfortable waiting on it. Especially as Bitcoin gets to these major support zones. I think the probabilities of a bounce coming is more probable. And Link is a hard it has really hard bounces. Like it bounces really hard compared to a lot of other coins. All right, so going on to Cardano, and similar, hold it. Cardano didn't even visit this bottom pivot yet, which could mean that it's going to, okay, but it has done well holding this minor support level here. So this minor support level here, where you're seeing all these wicks kind of mess around, it's that's pretty strong. It's fairly strong. I will say I do find that Cardano has these moments of relative strength when the market is somewhat in a consolidative kind of structure where not much is happening. You'll find Cardano might go up like 5-6% here and there. But in the end, it's usually in between a larger range, so it's almost insignificant. But I can see Cardano, starting to break a little higher here. I'm looking for another run towards 60 cents. Anything past that, I think Bitcoin will have to be, making its move towards 24,000, 25,000 for Cardano to break this high pivot at 65, 66 cents. If you count this one, about 68 cents, 69 cents. So for Cardano to be breaking this pivot, I do think you're going to have to see Bitcoin breaking towards 24,000, 25,000. If it does break this pivot, the next level to watch out for, in my opinion, will probably be around here at 73 to 75 cents. So that general zone is going to be what we want to watch for. And once we get there, I'm telling you right now, you're likely going to see a really hard sell here. Okay, and then we're gonna probably see this pivot held. All right. The reason why I'm saying we may see really hard sell here. 75 cents, at least on Bybit or Binance, there was a massive wall here that was trying to hold this market up, and obviously they got run through, whoever they were. So do not be surprised. Every time I've seen something like that, a node of volume like that, this tends to either get run right through or pushed right down. It's very rarely the permanent level of resistance or support. So if it does get pushed down, look for consolidation if Bitcoin stays bullish at the time and probably go higher. If it goes if it runs right through, you might get a really big move towards 80 to 90 cents, but it's going to come right back down. All right, so 75 cents can be a fairly major level for Cardano, in my opinion. So keep your eye on that. But again, we're green on these 3 or 4 positions we're in. I believe before I get to 75 cents, we'll be closing out. I'm comfortable just closing out at about 55 to 60 cents, possibly. But I'm aiming towards 55 to 58 cents is my general target. So anything past that, we'll see how the price interacts. Okay. And I think that's it. I'm just going to focus on what we're currently in. Okay. There's not much reason going over other coins right now. Currently, we're sitting above major support. We'll see if we have another repeat of what happened here back in May, or if we're going to finally get that impulse to at least break higher towards a minor resistance level of 24,000 to 25,000. Okay. If we do not break past that and we start coming lower, then hey, we're probably going to go towards at least 15,000. All right, unless we're able to hold this bottom pivot right here, that's likely what's going to happen. And in my opinion, once you start breaking towards 15,000, you're going to get a wave of panic and despair in the market. So do not be surprised if you go much lower. My target now is anywhere from 12 to 9 to 8,000, to be honest, because the reason why I'm feeling that is because just the Nasdaq, there's just so much more room for the stock market to fall. I mean, it's crazy how much crypto has fallen and how little the stock market has fallen is pretty nuts. It actually surprised me. I didn't think it would fall that much, even though the stock market's fallen that little. All right, and for the stock market, it's a lot, but it's not a lot considering that all of COVID gains are going away. So let me just show this chart real quick. Actually, what am I doing? All of COVID gains are likely going to go away. I shared this with the members. I shared this chart with the members in our group. Yeah, so I mean, it's very likely you're going to see this entire. Let's use the S&P actually. I like the S&P, but this is the general. This is the general sentiment. So this channel here is pretty much all of COVID. Let's use S&P because I think I have it labeled. Yeah. Okay. So as we can see, I had 3 pathways, and obviously the red pathway is the way we're going. The COVID channel for S&P, which started March 2020, held it all the way through until the beginning of 2022, January, and we broke through. We had that nice retest of this level I was looking at, literally to the tick of this wick, and then boom, just weeks upon weeks. This is a weekly chart, guys, just of selling. Got to this next major support level of 39.63, had a really nice rally this week, and then continuation to the downside, and now we're approaching the next major support level of 35.88, and we're getting towards the fair value channel, right? The fair value channel this is where everything is priced fairly in S&P, approximately fairly, where you'll find fair value. And this red trend line here, this ray line, is the high pivot of the drop in COVID, and then what's currently as support here. So we're likely going to see that price fairly soon, definitely this year in my opinion. And then going into the fair value channel, we'll find hopefully some market stability as it encroaches on this median line. Which is the channel where the market has been in perpetuity, has been forever since the creation of the market. Okay, and this break was unheard of. So this was pretty incredible, folks, and I think we're going to see the entirety of this move for the COVID channel taken out. And there's plenty of room to the downside, so that's why crypto can go much lower, much lower. Okay, all right. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it. Everyone, make sure to, be somewhat cautious, but also recognize you're in a market of massive opportunity. Massive opportunity. It's a generational opportunity here. If you have your eye on quality, you're patient, and you can start accumulating really good projects, both in crypto and in stocks, especially stocks, to be honest. If you could find an Apple that's at a really good price, I don't know, like $50 a share somehow over the rest of this year going to next year, you should buy it. Okay, buy products you understand, and companies you understand, companies' products you like, and if it's a really good deal, go for it. Okay, so everyone, make sure to be patient, be vigilant, and be nimble. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.